One time for my LA sisters. One time for my LA hoes. Okay, so welcome back to Mr. Hot Take on Hot Shits, and yeah, it's Benny once again. I keep
Courier.
Benny and Courier, and we're here talking about what?
Let me find my gun.
All I know is this episode we're gonna try to get this weapon. That's super cool.
Today it's gonna be about two things. It's gonna be about getting a better melee weapon so we can stop
because
fucking
dog
using
shit.
guns. And it's to talk
pure
about
mierda.
and it's to talk about should trans people be allowed and in regular sports? Is that how we should title it?
Okay.
Should trans women and men be allowed in men's and women's sports? There you go.
Okay.
I think that's a better way to say it, right?
Are you sure? Yes.
Yeah.
So like, basically, it wouldn't be fair if a trans man went in. Well, no, I'm trying to think. So like, a man turned into a woman, went into a WNBA.
No.
You don't think that's right at all?
Nope.
Okay, and you don't think a trans woman turned into a man should go into the NBA, stuff like that?
See, that's where the difference comes in, because what I believe is
here we go.
if a woman, so if a woman who transformed into a man goes into male sports, they're not gonna dominate at all in the same way that a man would who turned into a woman would dominate in women's sports.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't care what anyone fucking thinks about their how they believe biology works.
Oh.
But a man, especially if it's a man who has reached the age where they've already gone through puberty,
their peak.
So if they've already
Prime.
reached puberty, past puberty, they're gonna be physically stronger than a woman. I don't care what biology, even with like good genetics, even if a woman has good genetics or anything like that, it doesn't fucking matter. It's not gonna make you like amazing. God, freaking these volumes loud. Okay.
Well, that argument gets thrown out the window when you bring in someone like Abby, though.
Stop. That's not even realistic. She's not realistic.
Okay, fine.
I mean, the way she could look is realistic, I guess, but you're not gonna look like that unless you're into some crazy supplements or even steroids. Like, even all like strongmen and all that even know that a girl who looks like that is probably on some weird like steroids or something like that. I mean, shit, or fucking what should we call him? Weight training man Posey even said that it's not like a woman's not gonna get crazy buff unless they're on some steroids, and I would trust him because he's the one who has the whole class built around like, you know, strength training and stuff like that. Oh my god, I'm gonna die.
But he did have anger issues, so maybe we shouldn't take his word.
And I'm gonna take his word, dude, because he was angry for the right reasons.
He was angry well, okay, so I kind of agree with you on. I don't think it's fair that trans or like men who are transformed into women should go into like a
Women's
WNBA.
sports.
Yeah, I don't think that's fair to that. So yeah, like you may feel like women, but I don't think that that's fair. If you're biologically of something else, and you may feel like something else, I don't think that it should be fair. I think what it should be done, like how you were saying off screen, was that they should have their own league or their own, you know.
Yeah, see that, because people would be like, oh, what's the solution to it? And it would be have a transsexual like own category for sports.
I would watch that.
Like,
that's pretty fucking cool.
Just I mean, I don't know if I'd watch it. I don't watch sports in general, so I don't really fucking care. But I just think that if you're gonna do something like that, you might as well just let them have their own I took everything. Let them have their own category of participation, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't care what anyone says, but at a professional level, when it doesn't include a use of a item such as like a fucking sword for like, or like a rapier for fencing, or like any type of sport that includes something like a weapon, a woman will not dominate a man in a professional level like sports. Like, because I'm not gonna talk about like me versus a normal woman or something like that, because that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about professional level people because though that's what the whole like conversation is about, what people are trying to talk about.
So like Ronda Rousey couldn't beat Conor McGregor.
No, she would not. She would not be. She tried to challenge Mayweather. Even Mayweather laughed it off because he's like, "You're not gonna beat me," and we all know that.
Damn.
I mean,
brutal.
McGregor went against Mayweather and did pretty well for not being a boxer. See,
Okay.
that was also the difference in like, in levels, that he's not a boxer, so he did some things wrong, while like Mayweather was kind of more dominating because it's his sport.
Yeah.
So, but if it like her versus McGregor, it's not really a competition. We've already seen a lot of times where it's like a high school male team going against a female professional team, and I would say, I guess sometimes they lose because I've never actually, like I said, I don't watch sports, but from what I've heard, they always get dominated by the male sports team.
Apparently, I think like the training in like Spain, there's like a Spaniard team who has a youth academy, and those boys, they play against the top female league team in their, I guess, in their country, and like that's their practice pretty much like every week or whatever. And like that youth academy team pretty much always dominates. Like that's just what that is. So as much as training as it is for the young boys, there's more training for the girls because it's like you need to do better, right?
Yeah, they're gonna get dominated by like
But
most teenagers to grown men who are at their peak. Even when they're not at their peak, I would still say they would dominate women who are at their peak.
damn.
Because again, like we're going about biology. In biology, yes, there's probably going to be some rare instances where this is not true, but I would say it's so rare to the fact that you can't really count it like as a percentage. Like you probably could be, it's like a 1% or less than that. Males have more like denser bones. They have more muscle. Females are more flexible. And that's like they're more flexible. They don't have like they have more muscle. I think they have a better center of gravity. They probably have more strength in their legs than they have their upper body, while men have more upper body strength than in their legs.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, like males are the ones who dominate in sports. Like when you say who's the fastest human being, who are you gonna say?
Don't look at me.
You're gonna say Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
Like it's not that like women can't be the best at something, but that's what I'm saying. Like when it comes to physical sports like this, like who's the best swimmer in the world? What's his name? Like Michael Phelps, right? Is that his name?
Yeah, sure.
He's the best swimmer in the world, like human being in the world. He's winning like Olympic gold medals. But when it came to something like who's the best fencer, you could argue that it could be like a woman, because when you add a weapon, or like I'm just gonna say a weapon because I feel like that's the easiest way to say it. If you add a weapon as a factor into the equation of like the competition, it kind of balances things out, because now that you have like a fucking weapon, it's kind of like equal on both sides, because now you're relying more on the weapon than your own strength.
Well, what about like who would win in a match? You think like Serena Williams or Roger Federer in a game of tennis? You know, because they're both playing tennis. Would you think that the guy have a better advantage than the woman in that?
When it comes to tennis, maybe not, because tennis isn't really about like strength. It's more about like technique and reaction to the ball, isn't it?
Sure. Yes.
Because what I'm saying is that when it comes to like more like football or like soccer, where it's more physical I mean, it's like, yes, there's a physical exertion in tennis because you have to be running around and swinging the tennis racket a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like you have the tennis racket. You don't. you're using the tennis racket more than football. Like you're running with the ball, or in soccer that you're kicking and running with the ball. Like it's more like you're more in contact with the ball than you are with like a tennis racket, because a tennis racket you could do like some like I don't know, some complex swings and out like perform your opponent because you're better at like the technique.
So you would think that a woman probably has a good chance of beating a man in a game of tennis.
Probably. I mean,
Okay.
the only the woman I know who's like really popular tennis player is the black woman. I don't know her name.
Yeah,
but
Serena
she
Williams.
Oh, that's her. Oh,
Yeah,
that's her.
Serena
Okay,
Williams.
I didn't
Yeah.
know her name. But yeah, like I'm pretty sure she probably could be like the best male, or at least has a higher chance of doing it than a female boxer or heavyweight lifter compared to a male boxer or male heavyweight lifter, because like I think there's been a lot of coverage of it, but there's this guy who just claimed he was trans. Easily was not like very crazy fit. He went and started breaking already female weightlifting records at a normal gym. He wasn't even doing this in a he was just recording himself, and he was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking
I don't think that's fair at all.
And it's like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not fair. Like, you're gonna, when it comes to a fucking I don't want to kill them. These are the people that we're gonna join.
Okay,
So I don't know if I should. Yeah, I don't think
kill
I should
everyone
kill them.
challenge but them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm
Yeah, I
gonna
think
die.
that's like that would be a super interesting thing though. Like if they just made like a trans league for them, I would really
it'd be more
think
fair.
It'd be more fair. It'd be a lot more enjoyable for them because then they'd feel like, okay, I'm doing this knowing who I am, and it would be like all trans people would like legit like a man and woman trans league.
Yeah, it'd be
super
like
cool
a
'cause
trans women and trans men like league
Yeah.
now, because it's more fair.
It is
to
more
them.
fair, and
It's
it's
more
more-
fair.
it's more inclusive.
It's more fair to not. I feel like, because the problem is people say that they're secluding trans people by not letting them in regular sports, but then at the same time you're also kind of not being fair to the people in those sports. But I can't even say people, it's more the women, because it's been more instances of women of men becoming women, breaking women's records in women's sports, than women becoming men and then beating men's records. Because no woman that turned into a man is gonna somehow magically become as strong as a 6'5", 300, 400 pound like strong man who could lift like fucking, I don't know, like 800, 700 pounds, you know, stuff like. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna break records like that. It's not possible. I mean, even if there is gonna be like there could, yes, there's tall women, like, I don't know, 6 feet, 7 feet, but they're not gonna have the same strength as a strong man. Like, let me tell you, they don't have the same strength as a strong man.
Yeah.
It's like
unfortunate,
crazy
but-
the difference in strength when it comes to men and women, especially at the professional level. Because I know someone who's like basically kind of built like a strong man, and the dude's picking up like crazy weight. Like, it's not really a contest.
Yeah, I think it's truly unfair to the women in those respective sports,
Yeah,
that
'cause-
they've tried super hard to get that record done, and then a dude just comes along and breaks
Exactly.
those records. Even though that dude is now considered a woman,
And-
it's still not fair for them because he has the biological body of a man.
Yeah, and the thing is that these people who transition into women and then want to compete in women's sports weren't even like the top, like the cream of the crop when it even came to the male sport. Like, they're probably like people who placed like 10 or below or something like that in like a competition. They weren't a great athlete or at all. So what they do is they transition into women, and now all of a sudden they're like the best athletes there, because, like, again, biology, you know, it's gonna happen. They're gonna be the best athletes because, like, at the professional level, men are gonna be better than women at fucking, like, it's just true. That's the reason why we have women and men's sports, you know? Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of like the reason why we have that to begin with.
Yeah, I think well, I think some women are better at sports than other men, but like obviously not like how you said, like in something that it's
That doesn't factor in
Yeah, I
as like the
guess.
use of an item or weapon or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I would say. Because it's like a swordswoman could be a swordsman, but because you have the factor of the sword.
Okay.
If you take that out, and it's just probably like fist fighting, it's most likely the man will win the woman. This isn't some type of fucking stupid movie where a 90-pound woman is gonna beat a 200-pound man.
David versus Goliath.
There's you could easily look up a YouTube video, but I saw it recently where it was saying that that martial artists don't like strongmen because strongmen beat martial artists more than half of the time. And you know why? Because they're stronger than martial artists. Even though martial artists have the techniques, they're still physically stronger and like just better, like most about strength than the martial artists. So it's like this isn't some type of movie where you have technique and you could somehow beat someone who's like twice your size, double your weight. You know, it's not gonna happen. That's why I don't. It doesn't matter what these people think that. Oh yeah, a woman's gonna beat a man in basketball or like in boxing or in weightlifting. It's not gonna happen because they're already physically stronger than you. Holy shit! Look at this. What's
They're
happening
really
over
taking
here?
off.
Dude, time to loot all the bodies.
Yes. Loot everything.
Alright, time to betray them.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna save.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Save now. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much.
Well, I don't think we're done, but I just don't want to die.
Oh, we're not done. Oh, okay.
I mean, I think there's still more I want to say because I just don't think the.
You just want to get through.
Let me think. I was thinking of something else. Oh, I don't think it's like they say it's not fair to trans people, but then it's like, what about the women? What about that?
Yeah.
That like like you said, they're breaking the records. It's kind of like fucked up
Yeah,
about that, and then it's kind of more annoying when it's like.
Eat 'em.
Damn, that's true. It's more annoying when it's parents who say they want to let their trans child play in sports, but then they're saying it's not fair for their kids, but then it's like, or what about the other parents' kids? What about their daughter who's like the best runner or at their school, and all of a sudden they're being beat by a kid now?
And then they fall into depression because they're like, oh, I thought it was the best one, and now I'm
and
not
it's not really fair. Like I read an article actually talking about a mom saying that her trans daughter, son who turned into a daughter, that wanted to play on the girls' sports team, so that's why they did it. But then she's talking out of her ass saying that it doesn't make a difference if you're a boy or a girl. But it's like, even at a young age, I would say that depending on the age, because like once you hit teenage years, I feel like most guys are already growing into the stage where they're stronger than girls, because you know how like girls are usually kind of like stronger than girls from like at a younger age.
Yeah.
I would say like when you're already getting into high school or even maybe like middle school a bit, there's already that like gap of their boys are starting to go through puberty, so they're gonna start growing taller, developing muscle. Their bones are gonna get even more denser. It's just like a whole fucking process.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like the only way it could even be fair is if they transition before they hit puberty. But I don't know. You don't know how that's gonna affect the person mentally and physically if that happens. Because their body isn't going through the normal like process of puberty.
Yeah.
But that's the only way I could even find that fair. But even then, I would rather them just have a whole league for transsexual people, and that's probably the better choice.
Yeah, it does seem a little more fair that way, because
you're being inclusive to both sides.
You're being fair to both sides, really, because it's like, oh, you're setting records in other places that you probably shouldn't be setting records.
Yeah, it's like
that's, I don't know.
And now if they make a new category, now you could set new records. You could be the new record of this, and it's like you could be more proud of that than breaking like the woman's record, because it's like, well, that's kind of messed up, and should you really be proud of doing something like that?
Yeah. And it's not like we're saying like, oh, trans women aren't women, like aren't real women. Like that's just what they are. Like that they believe they are real women, then sure, go ahead. But you also have to take into consideration that you were born a certain way.
That will give you advantages.
That will give you in some physical way, and that's just how that is. You may not feel like you are of that, the way that you were built or the way that you were born.
Yeah, like you may feel like you don't have an advantage, but you do have an advantage.
Because like, it kind of like, if you are, then that's just how. Like, how many people are like, oh, it doesn't matter what my genitalia tells me, I'm not of this or that, right? And it's like, yeah, of course, you feel how you want to feel, but you were born that way, given the like the testosterone boost or whatever, or that chemical base in you, like then that's just kind of what's given to you. Then use that to your advantage in your own league, because I think that's pretty cool. Like just being like, oh yeah, I'm the best trans weightlifter. Then you're like, holy shit, really? Like that's really cool. Rather than, oh, I'm the best trans lifter in a women's division. And it's like, oh.
Like,
it's like,
yeah, it's kind of
it's
fucked
like,
up.
oh, okay,
Stole
that's like
someone's
that's
trophy.
Yeah, it's like, oh well, all right, but I don't know. It's just it'd be very interesting to see like a trans.
I know
league
people.
being
I know some
competitive.
people will say, oh, it's a whole that they're segregating, but it's not really segregation, because you're. I mean, it's not really segregate. It's like, how can I say? Because this is a thing we learn in political science.
Yeah.
That it's like, it's segregation, but not in a bad way, if that even makes sense.
Yeah, because it's not like, oh,
because
we're like we hate your kind and we need you to be over there. No, it's not that. Not that. It's more like, I guess in the biological sense.
Yeah, it's to give more. If anything, it's to give more opportunity to transsexual people.
Yeah.
Kind of the same way that like black colleges give more opportunities to black people.
Yeah. HBCUs.
It's exactly like, that's what I'm trying to say. That it's like segregation, but it's not a bad segregation. It's more to give opportunity to the transsexual people.
Yeah, to bring more light to them and to make it so like they have a better chance. Like let's say exactly. Let's say you're a trans. Let's say you're a woman that's trying to transition to a man, but like you're just trying to say like, man, that I could never go into that sport even though I feel like a man and I'm in a woman's body. Well, now you have the trans league, and now you could fucking dominate because you'll be in that trans league, right? And let's say you're talented enough, right? Then go ahead and do that. Like, then that's super cool. I just think that's a lot more fair to those people than to being the other way around. Because like how you said, like it's normally the males transition to women that do a lot better,
dominate in the sport,
rather than the other way around. And it's not fair for the women transition into males. Like they should also have their chance at record or having success at a sports that they really want to be good at. I think that's a lot better idea than trying to immigrate yourself and immigrate whatever yourself integrate. There you go. Integrate yourself into a division that probably shouldn't be integrated in, because it's not fair to people around you. Yeah, but only because of your biological sex. But I mean, there's also that thing that, like how you said, oh, maybe they did it early. Yeah, because then like they could have stunted their testosterone growth.
Yeah, exactly.
At that point, then it's like maybe at that point maybe.
But it's like really like maybe
because it's like you just never know how
much it really, like, we're not fucking scientists.
Yeah,
of course, maybe as scientists we'll figure this out, but none of us.
But yeah, Trans League, dude, I'm down for it. I'd be the first one to sign up for that shit. I'd be like, yes. Like that definitely needs to happen.
I know, it still makes me mad that it's not even it's not even good people. They weren't even good athletes already. They were placing like really terribly, and now they're just better, and it's like, really? It's not really fair.
I know. It's a damn shame.
They're still fighting over there. I'm trying to see if they'll kill each other so I can steal their stuff.
But the people that you're trying to join, you want them to die? Technically.
Yeah, because I'll still get their stuff.
Damn.
Oh fuck. Never mind. I'm not going over there.
Ugh.
Yeah, they're gonna say they're gonna kill me.
NCR. No, we finish this now.
No, I will die. I will definitely die. Look at that. What the? Why is he wearing the helmet? All right,
Wants
you know
to
what?
survive.
You know what? Now we say.
Now we
now
say.
we say
Now
we're
we
gonna try to kill him.
Okay, try to kill him, and then that's how we end our episode.
If I can. If not, I die, and we end every episode dying.
Okay. I see. Let's see. Die. Vilified. Nice, dude. Freaking nice.
Ooh, I didn't kill him.
Well then, this is very interesting. 'Cause I am Dynamite. Such a good song, dude.
Ooh,
Alright, well, see you guys later.
Guys, like, comment,
Next time.
subscribe.
Like, comment,
Okay,
subscribe,
bye.
please. Sorry.
Bye.